Should have just married the racist bride anyway. I mean, we've already paid for the food, right?
Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother's fiance wear her late mother's wedding dress at my wedding?
What?
Wait, what?
So I'm getting married in 2 months. I've planned everything down to the last detail, and it's my dream wedding, and I've been saving and planning for years. Here's where things get tricky. My younger brother is engaged to Emma, and she recently lost her mom in a tragic accident. Emma and I have always gotten along just fine, but we're not super close. Anyway, her mom had a very beautiful, expensive wedding dress that Emma inherited, and it means a lot to her. Understandable, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a few days ago, Emma came to me in tears asking if she could wear her late mother's wedding dress to my wedding. I was shocked because I was like, this felt a little off.
Something feels off.
So I totally understand that she wants to honor her mom, but I just feel like a wedding dress at someone else's wedding is not the time or the place. I agree so far. I told her gently that I did not think it was appropriate, and she started crying, saying it was the only way she felt her mom could be with her during a major family event. She said she'd never get to see her mom at her own wedding, and wearing the dress that felt like a way to keep that connection. I felt for her, but I held firm that my wedding wasn't the right time for that.
Yeah.
So now my brother is furious with me, saying I'm heartless and selfish, and a bunch of family members have started to take sides. Some say Emma's request is deeply sentimental and that I'm being too rigid about wedding rules.
Rules are rules.
I just see two brides in white dresses. So others agree that it's weird for a guest to wear a wedding dress at someone else's wedding. Emma hasn't spoken to me since, and my brother says they're considering not coming to my wedding unless I change my mind. So my fiance is supportive of me, but I'm starting to feel guilty because I know that this is tied to grief and I don't want to be the bad guy. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let her wear her late mother's wedding dress to my wedding? Let's go back to this point. It's her wedding.
Preach, girl.
Wear your mother's wedding dress to your own wedding.
Girl, Emma, have a wedding with my brother, and y'all can wear this dress. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's read the comments, shall we?
First comment, she can wear her mom's wedding dress at her own wedding like any sane person would do.
And then somebody says, let the bride have her day. Just show up in the attire stated in the invite, look happy for people, eat and drink and feel gratitude that someone you care about wanted you to share in on this important event with you, and then go home. And that is really the bottom line, that last comment. This ain't about you, boo. This is not your day.
That is perfect advice for every single wedding, no matter what the issue. Just go there, enjoy it, be nice, and go home.
What is that?
Thank you, David. You look very expensive and gorgeous, too.
It's white. You're wearing a white dress.
Duh, it's black and white themed. What was I supposed to show up in, pink?
Or black. You're wearing a wedding dress. To my wedding.
This is not a wedding dress. It's a white floor-length gown. It's very different.
Did it come with a veil?
No, it came with a headdress.
What?
It came with like a white tulle headdress, but I thought that it overwhelmed the dress, so I decided not to wear it.
You're walking me down the aisle in a wedding dress. Everyone's gonna think we're getting married to each other. Ugh.
Exactly. That was a wedding dress, by the way. Very cute.
Do you think when people show up to weddings, people meaning women show up to weddings in white, that they're really that ignorant of how things work, or are there other things at play?
Unless it is a wedding where the attire is wear all white, right? And even that, if I were invited to a wedding and the entire attire was wear all white, I'd be so mindful of what my attire was. Maybe I'd do like a white pantsuit or a dress that was clearly not a wedding dress.
My dad is wearing a white suit for my sister's wedding.
Why is he dressed like Colonel Sanders?
Now, I called my dad this morning to ask him what he thinks he's going to be wearing for my sister's wedding. He point blank said that he will be wearing a white suit. He said, as the father of the bride, he feels, quote, he has the right to dress however he pleases.
Whatever, I do what I want.
When I gently told him that typically, read 9 times out of 10, solely the bride wears white for the wedding day. Get this. He doubled down and says that my sister already has kids and shouldn't be wearing white anyhow.
Can you wear a white wedding dress, young lady?
And this is going to be an interesting wedding, she says.
What does the suit look? Is it just a white suit? And I have questions. I was thinking at first, are they on the beach and it's like a linen suit? You know, the waves are crashing and white's appropriate. But this sounds like he wants to show up in a white tuxedo. It doesn't make sense. Other than just to be the center of attention.
And clearly he would be. Everybody would be talking about it.
I think he knows that. That's why he wants to wear it.
Now, what about that old-timey rule about brides wearing white?
Harlot.
Back to your brothel, harlots.
What do you think about his comment?
No one cares anymore. You can wear whatever you want. I've seen folks who've been married more than one time, some of them 3, and they still wear white. I think you do whatever you want. It's your wedding. If you want to wear a pink dress, a black dress, you want to look like a pumpkin, it's your wedding. I tried to warn the bride that her bridesmaids' dresses would not work for me, but she insisted, and now she's pissed because I look like the bride.
2 brides, wonderful.
I'm supposed to be the maid of honor for a wedding tonight. My husband is the best man, and we've been friends with this couple for a very long time. The bridesmaids' dresses are nearly identical to the wedding dress in style, except a different color. My dress as maid of honor is an exact copy of hers. Well, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Just in another color. So here's where it gets to be a mess.
What a mess.
I thought my wedding day was a mess.
She picked this color called morning gray. On the other bridesmaids, the dress absolutely looks great. A very soft, very ethereal gray, but gray nonetheless. All the other bridesmaids are white. I'm not. So against my skin, the dress undeniably looks white. So like the only way you can tell mine is actually gray is if I'm standing directly next to the bride. And then when the dresses are side by side, you can see that one's gray and one's white. Then you can see the difference clearly. So now the bride ordered all of the dresses and picked the color herself. I tried to tell her she should order mine in a darker shade of gray because I've been down this road before.
Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so.
She insisted that she had her cousin try it on and that the color was perfect and you could easily tell that it was gray. I tried to explain to her that her cousin is the color of printer paper and that it would look different on me.
She's white.
She's white.
But she was unwilling to have her vision modified. So now she's pissed at me because even though it's clear hanging with the other dresses, mine is the same color as the other bridesmaids, it looks white on me. Which, by the way, she tried to tell this woman it's not going to read the same on my skin tone.
Told you so!
She has decided the only option is to kick me out of her wedding so I don't upstage her. However, she wants me to give my dress to one of the other bridesmaids. I said that was fine as soon as she reimbursed me the money for it, which, by the way, this dress was $350 compared to the rest of the dresses, which were $125. So she's paid almost 3 times as much, right? But then one of the bridesmaids promptly pointed out that none of them could even wear my dress. I'm not huge, but I'm incredibly top heavy. So the lady says she wears a 34H bra. Oh, honey. If you are ABCD, you're not working with that H. That's not even optional.
That's huge.
It's enormous.
Which is part of why my dress was so much more expensive than the other bridesmaids. So none of the other bridesmaids will be able to keep my dress up, even if the lacing was pulled as tight as it would go. Because again, she's top heavy, so it's like it will hang over, right? Like it's just material. So now she's decided I have ruined her perfect wedding. She screamed at me and told me that not only am I not in the wedding, but she doesn't even want me to attend as a guest. This pissed my husband off. A, because she was warned. I even sent her photos of a dress I wore that was almost the same color to a different wedding. And B, because he doesn't want to attend a wedding without me. And he thinks it's BS since she insisted on this hideous dress color. She didn't say hideous. I'm just saying that because, girl, why you got gray? What did she think was going to happen? Even if it's a light gray, it looks too much like her dress.
your maid of honor is supposed to be the person closest to you. You're just like, you look wrong, so you're out. That's absurd.
Bring in the extra.
Here's the issue. I think too many brides think that they're casting a movie.
Take two.
Things are going to go wrong. This is going to be, it would have been an interesting story later on that everybody laughed about, but then you turned it into this humongous ordeal, and it didn't have to be that way.
And then you gaslit her and told her she ruined her day. No, ma'am, you ruined your own day. You started by picking that dreadful color and by getting her a dress that's a replica of yours, because that makes sense.
So we have an update now.
Oh, they made up.
And apparently things get ugly.
Oh, they were already terrible.
So I initially offered to dye the dress, and the groom thought that that was a great idea and even offered to pay for the stuff needed to dye it. But the bride nixed that because then, quote, I would stand out even more. Why have bridesmaids if you don't want them to be seen?
Did she even like this woman? She doesn't want you at her wedding.
So I asked what she meant by stand out even more, and a whole lot of truth came out. Ooh, this is getting weird. Apparently, she initially hadn't wanted me in the wedding at all, but her fiance was one of my oldest and best friends, and my husband was, note the past tense, was one of hers. We introduced them to each other in the first place because we thought that they would hit it off, and they did. Anyway, because my husband was the closest thing she has to a sibling, she really wanted him to be the, quote, man of honor at their wedding. And initially, the groom said that that was fine, and he would just have me as a best woman. I think that'd be kind of cool. She really didn't like that idea, so they decided to switch us up. No big deal. Except apparently it was because I'm the only person of color in the whole wedding party, and one of the very few who will be at the wedding at all, and I'm going to stand out in every single picture.
Yeah.
Because of her race.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her, what about the groom's parents? The groom is white, but he was adopted by a black couple and is quite close to both his biological and adoptive parents. But if you ask who his parents are, he always says the people who raised him. Her theory was that his biological parents would be in the pictures, not his adoptive parents. Well, when the groom heard that, he flipped out.
Of course.
And then she said the dumbest thing she could have said. It's not his fault. He had no control over who adopted him, and the pictures should just be real family. Well, at that point, the groom had heard enough and told her that they were his real family, and he couldn't believe she would say that. She was not the person he thought she was, and he was not marrying her. Wow. She gets pissed and tells him he's being ridiculous and that his parents can be in some of the photos and they will take some without. He tells her again that he is in no way, shape, manner, or form marrying her after what he heard, and in fact, he wants nothing to do with her. Wow. So we spent the afternoon with the groom, several of the bridesmaids, and all of the groomsmen who were all equally shocked by her behavior. I'd say we were consoling the groom, but we weren't. He was too busy ranting about dodging a bullet.
This was the wedding day that all this happened?
Yeah.
So what happened to all the food?
That's your question.
My question is, y'all paid for all that food. Did y'all not go enjoy the plate?
Should have just married the racist bride anyway. I mean, we've already paid for the food, right?